What's up, Put 'em Up crew? You guys know what time it is. You see the flannel, you know it's time for some Avatar. Let's get it. Everybody's being a little lazy today. Look at these dogs. Look at these worthless ass dogs. Ain't good for nothing, man. They'd at least come chill and watch some Avatar with me, right? Not even. With that being said, guys, put 'em up. Let's get it. Hey guys, Big Texs here. Just wanted to hop in real quick before we get started on this video and just remind everybody that this is not a market substitute for the original Avatar content. If you like what you see here, please do support the original creator and all of its greatness. You can do that on Netflix by buying the DVDs, however you want to do it. Just know that this is not a place to watch the full video. I clip it out. I only try and show you the more important stuff and key factors that I want to talk on. With that being said, don't forget to put them up, and let's get it. Where'd we leave off last time, guys? We found out Aang was an avatar, Katara's a half-ass waterbender, Sokka's an egotistical, chauvinistic pig. No. Anyways, you guys remember, if you haven't seen the first video that's about the first episode, y'all go back and check that out. If you'd like to check that out, come watch this one. Then you can always hit me up on my Twitch. I stream Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. Links are down below. Be in the description. By all means, y'all come check it out. I'd love to hear from you. We can bounce back and forth ideas, whatever you want to do. With that being said, let's get it. Yay, Aang's back. Woo, let's go. He's gonna get us caught by the Fire Nation. Oh yeah, here comes Sokka.
There was this booby trapping. It's my fault.
Aha! The traitor confesses.
Aang's brought us something we haven't had in a long time. Fun.
Fun? We can't fight firebenders with fun.
Sokka is right. I think it best if the Airbender leaves.
Granny spitting.
Then I'm banished too.
Would you really choose him over your tribe? Your own family?
This is goodbye?
Thanks for paying.
This is goodbye?
Where
No.
will we go?
Guess I'll go back home and look for the Airbenders.
Can't be goodbye. We just met.
Wow. I haven't cleaned my room in 100 years. Not looking forward to that. It was nice meeting everyone.
Let's see your bison fly now,
Air boy.
Come on, Appa. You can do it. Yep, yep.
Alright, so real quick, I just want to point a few things out that a lot of people that I definitely didn't notice. Whenever I was a kid, I just thought like, oh man, Sokka's just an ass, right? But, you know, he's kind of been raised like that. You got to remember the situation that he's in. His dad's gone, his mom's dead, you got crazy ass wars going on, firebenders patrolling the seas and shit. He just had to, you know, he had to grow up really fast. You know, we'll get a little bit more into it at the end of the episode. Aang's attitude, like Aang doesn't like, when they're talking about the war, he kind of still has a lighthearted attitude about it, and we'll talk about that too. I hate to posit it this much. It helps with copyright issues and everything like that. If you notice, I'll probably be pausing a little bit more than I did the first episode, and continuing on, I will also be pausing more because the further on we get in the show, the more and more shit goes down. Let's get it. Don't even ask to go pee. Don't think about asking me to go pee.
I liked her too.
We all know you did, bro. Alright, go back and get her. Go get your boo thing.
The village.
Oh no. Aang fucked up, and he knows it.
Appa, wait here.
Appa's like, alright, fuck it. I'm good, bro. I ain't trying to get involved with the Fire Nation. Got that war paint, son. Ooh, Zuko looks nasty. I don't like the stupid ass helmet that they got him wearing though. Oh, Sokka built his watchtower back up. That's not good. Oh, well.
Oh man!
Oh, man. Oh, come on, little one. I got you. What are those ships called? Like, I think they're called icebreakers. Fuck, it does look pretty nasty. Oh, shit. Damn, he almost got smashed, too. Twice. By the boat and by the ramp. Smoke. Fuck, I don't want the smoke. Bodied. Zuko just folded his ass.
Where are you hiding him?
Whoa, easy. Easy, Zuko.
Be about this
What you
age,
doing to Gran
master
Gran?
of all elements?
Look at that. Get him, Sokka, get him. Bodied again. You're 0 for 2, bro.
Show no fear.
Yeah. Get him. Oh, shit. Zuko says, nope, not today, bitch. That's... Poked him in the head after he came out of the iceberg. Oh, Boomerang came back for the win. Angry face Zuko. Oh, on a penguin again.
Hey, Katara. Hey, Sokka.
Hi, Aang. Thanks for coming.
Oh, square up.
You're the Airbender? You're the Avatar? I've spent years preparing for this encounter. Training, meditating. You're just a child.
Well, you're just a teenager.
Oh man, you better be careful,
Before I
Aang.
go with you, will you promise to leave everyone alone?
So right here we learn that Aang is a pretty selfless act. Like, he gave himself up to the Fire Nation so that he could protect the village. You know, hopefully everything's gonna be all right.
Don't worry, Katara. It'll be okay.
Oh, okay, it'll be all right.
Take care of Appa for me until I get back.
Big Appa, don't leave
Welcome
Appa.
to the Fire Nation. I'm going.
What would you do if you didn't have Appa? If maybe one day there was a point in time when Appa wasn't around. Ooh, that look, don't it? I don't think it's gonna be okay, and I don't think he thinks it's gonna be okay. See that look? I'll look at him. He's trying to rebuild what little shit that they have.
We have to go after that ship, Sokka. I know you don't like Aang, but we owe him.
Katara, are you gonna talk all day or are you coming with me?
I don't think you're gonna catch that
We're going to save your boy.
warship in a
Not
boat.
Whatever.
What do you two think you're doing?
The old people in this show spit. They're so wise. Every old person they run into gives them some kind of life lesson.
Been so long since I've had hope, but you brought it back to life, my little waterbender.
What about Sokka?
And you,
Oh.
my brave warrior, be nice to your sister. Aang is the Avatar. He's the world's only chance. You both found him for a reason. Now your destinies are intertwined with his.
There's
Destiny,
no way we're
son.
gonna catch a warship with a canoe.
Big Appa.
Please, Appa. We need your help. Aang needs your help.
What was it that kid said?
Yep.
Yeehaw, hup
Yep.
hup, wahoo, yip yip.
Once again, guys, all of these teenagers are telling Aang that he's just a child. Well, you're just a teenager. Like, and Katara, she said, I haven't done this since I was a kid. And he told her, you still are a kid. Oh, you had to, like, with Sokka, yeah, we'll talk about that too. The Fire Nation just had these guys owned. It wouldn't have, if they really came for the heat, Southern Water Tribe wouldn't have stood a chance.
This staff will make an excellent gift for my father. I suppose you wouldn't know of fathers being raised by monks.
Hey, we talked about
Take
that.
the avatar to the prison hold, and take this to my quarters.
So, I guess you never fought an airbender before.
Nope,
I bet I can take
sure
you
haven't.
both with my hands tied behind my back.
There's no more. No more airbenders. No one's fought one for 100 years. Bah!
You haven't seen my staff around, have you? Thanks anyway.
Real quick, a couple other things I want to point out. Fucking airbending is OP. I like how respectful Aang is. He wasn't trying to mess with Uncle while he was sleeping. He's letting Big Unks get his rest.
My staff.
Looks like I underestimated you.
Big Zooks. All the music in this show just can't help but like. Yeah, see, look. Zuko's like, I don't even know how to hit this dude. All non-lethal shots. Ooh. That's a way out. You never see that again. How there's a little lighter outline of orange around his glider. You never ever see that in the rest of the show. Oh, Big Appa. Here comes the gang. Here comes the gang.
Appa!
That's the crew, Zooks. Coming in hot on Big Appa.
Aang! No!
Thing's about to turn up. Turn it up. Nasty. What's up, bitch? Look at Zuko. He's like, oh my god.
Did you see what he just did?
Now that was some water bending.
Oh, damn.
Aang!
Apparently not something he can do all the time. I don't think anybody could really touch him when he's in that state. But, I wonder what. Couldn't be good. Yeah, he poked her. Get you back, bitch. Boink, boink, boink.
The water tribe.
I can't do that. I can't do that to you guys. Like, I know I've seen it, but I was gonna... See, look at Katara. You need to do something, girl. She's learning. She's learning.
Sokka!
Just a guy with a boomerang. I didn't ask for all this flying and magic.
It's not magic. Bending.
Yip, 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 yip.
Good morning, Unks.
Shoot them down.
Nasty. Damn. If Pyro would have woke up, they might have won that.
That kid, Uncle, just did this. I won't underestimate him again. Dig the ship out and follow them. As soon as you're done with that.
Yes, yes.
Why didn't you tell us you were the Avatar?
Because I never wanted to be.
What? Never wanted to be the Avatar.
But Aang, The world's been waiting for the Avatar to return and finally put an end to this war.
And how am I going to do that?
According to legend, you need to first master water, then earth, then fire, right?
That's what the monks told me.
Well, if we go to the North Pole, you can master waterbending.
We can learn it together.
And Sokka, I'm sure you'll get to knock some firebender heads on the way.
I'd like that. I'd really like that.
Then we're in this together.
And that's all she wrote. That's it for episode 2. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments. We're going to do a little discussion here. I'm going to point out some stuff that I thought. So some of the things that I really wanted to point out was like Sokka's distrust, right? And his quick temper. To me, that's a sign of what the war has actually done to him. You know, or all of them really. Like all of those people have grown up their whole life during a war. I'm sure there are people like that, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I know there are people like that, but I wasn't in that situation, so it seems odd to me. Like, I don't think I could imagine always being at war with someone. To me, that's nuts. You see that distrust and that anger in Sokka, and like probably, well, you will see it in other people too. That's one of the biggest themes about this show is what war actually does to people, how it actually tears nations up, and how it affects people in the long run. And you can see the exact opposite in Aang's attitude and his persona and everything, because he never had that. They weren't at war whenever he froze himself in the iceberg. He didn't realize how much time had passed. Like he even said in the first episode, I don't know, I was only frozen for a few days. So he thinks he was only in there for like a few days when he was in there for 100 years. So he hadn't, like you said, he hadn't cleaned his room in 100 years. He hadn't seen any of his people. As far as we know right now, there are no other airbenders. I mean, the show is called The Last Airbender, but we still haven't actually confirmed that through canon in the show yet. It makes sense that Aang, not only is he still young, so he acts like a kid, but he didn't have to grow up with the same hardships that everybody in this, except the Fire Nation, you know, they weren't really put through any. I mean, they went to war, and I'm sure they lost soldiers and everything, but they were like, I don't know, they were the opposing side. Does that make them the bad guys? Like, does it make it okay that their soldiers are dying? Maybe, you know, we've only seen Zuko and Iroh and his few cronies that are on the ship, so we don't know. There could be good Fire Nation people, firebenders, that don't want to be at war, that are against the war. You know, we'll find that out as we go. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is, like, at this point, what could Sokka and them really actually do? Like, Sokka was it looked like the only halfway battle capable person there. It was all old people, Sokka, Katara, and a bunch of kids. Like, if the Fire Nation really wanted to smash the Southern Water Tribe, all they would have had, like, Zuko and them could have done it if they really wanted to. So, a little bit about Zuko. Right now, it just looks like Zuko is an angry prince dude. But, even at the very beginning in it, I didn't catch it the first few times I ever watched this through, but even at the beginning, Zuko never... A lot of people say he's angry, and, like, he is angry in a sense, but he's more determined than anything. Even from the very beginning, he doesn't want... He's determined, he just wants to get the Avatar. Like, he goes in there, and he's like, look, I'm gonna do some shit, like, I'm gonna grab Gran, I'm gonna throw her around a little bit, I'm gonna body Sokka 3 or 4 times, make him look like a little bitch, you know, but, he never, and even when he started firebending, he never shot fire at anybody. He, like, did it above their head. He was using more intimidation. I mentioned that in the episode. He was using, like, intimidation tactics more than anything. He wasn't really trying to cause any harm. Like, because if he was, he could have took Gran and been like, melt your face, bitch. Oh, and also, Like, even when the ship comes crashing through, like, that was all intimidation. Comes crashing through, busts through their wall, tears down Sokka's little ice tower, snow watchtower thing. He doesn't give two shits. He wants to get his shit done, and that's it. He doesn't care about anything else. And he'll do whatever he has to get it done. But it still doesn't look like he's just like, oh, I'm gonna go in and just murder all these people, right? Be a little gnarly for a Nickelodeon show, like wiping out an entire village. So let's talk about Aang a little bit. We learn a lot about Aang's character. You know, we already talked about him a little bit. He's kind of lighthearted, and you know, I attribute that to him not growing up in the war, not really knowing about it, not knowing all the bad shit that's happened yet. But we also learn that he's you know, he's brave. He just rides in there on fucking Penguin like badass. Knocks Zuko on his face. He probably could have taken he probably could have took Zuko if he really wanted to, right there in the middle of the village. But he knew that if he started fighting him, he was gonna get the village involved and someone was probably gonna get hurt. So he didn't want that to happen. He's like, yo, man, chill out. I'll go with you if you leave these people alone, right? And Zuko's like, all right. And as he's walking off, he's like, hey, man, take care of Appa for me. Don't worry, it'll be okay, blah, blah, blah. He's telling everybody, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. And then, you know, they walk up the end of the boat. The shit starts to close. And, you know, he gets that worried look on his face like, damn, bro, I don't think I'm all right. And he knew that. But, I mean, he couldn't rightfully know or do, like, get into a fight with Zuko knowing that the villagers would get hurt. You learn a lot about Aang, you know, the air nomads are pacifists. They don't like confrontation. The martial arts style, which I forgot to look up, I will get that, I promise, guys. That it's based on is essentially based around moving, like staying behind your opponent so they can't find you. Like avoiding and evading attacks more than actually physical combat. So that's one thing about airbenders, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later when we get into their actual powers and stuff. Think about how hard it must be for Aang. We talked about that, you know, he was in the iceberg, he doesn't know about the war, he was frozen for 100 years, but like not only that, but we also kind of touched on this. Everybody he knows is gone. Like the only thing he has from his past is Big Appa. Big Appa is his rock. That would just, to me, that would be insane to not know, like, everything that you knew. Not only the people, but, like, a lot can happen in 100 years. You don't know what the fuck's going on. Apparently, there's this big-ass war. Yeah, to me, that's insane. Not knowing what happened to your people or anything. Alright, I guess that's enough on that topic. Sokka comes in clutch. Big Sokka. You know, I said last episode he was one of my favorite characters, and we're already starting to get to see a little bit of character development and building from him. At first, he didn't like Aang, and you hear that when Katara's telling him, like, I know you didn't like Aang, but we gotta go save him, blah, 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 blah. You know, he's like, Katara, and she keeps going, and he says it again, Katara, and finally he's like, hey, are we gonna go or what? And so, like, Sokka, he's coming in. He's part of the team now. He's part of the gang. He's my dude. One. Number two. Big Appa's number. And then, like, Sokka came in clutch. Yeah, but Big Grand comes in super clutch. We talked about how wise the old people are in this show. You guys just listen. Like, you'll notice, like, I'm gonna try and do everything I can to get all of Iroh's parts in here. Iroh is another character that's just spits wisdom every time his mouth opens. By the time it's all said and done, y'all will know my favorite character, why I like them, of course, but you'll know it just because they'll get more screen time. So we hear Zuko talk a little bit more also about, you know, he says, can't wait to get home to my father, get my honor back. Once again, without spoiling anything, if you go back and look, I'll try and get it in editing to where it's a close-up on the screen. But look at the side. That's another thing that you really have to look at this show is even the camera angles and stuff. Like a lot of people probably wouldn't notice it, but there's something very particular about when he's talking, when he's giving this speech, when he's talking about his dad and like getting his honor back and everything. The camera angle is giving him a silhouette picture. Like it's a silhouette shot and you only see half of his face. People have already seen this, they probably know where I'm hitting at, but I'm not gonna blatantly say it. Alright, so yeah, we talked a little bit about this in the show too. Airbending is so overpowered. Like, it's... I said it, Aang has an advantage. No one knows how to fight an airbender. No one's even seen one in 100 years. It's... air is everywhere. Like, it's so hard not to take... I mean, you can't take their bendables away. You just can't. I've always thought, what if the airbenders survived, and what if they weren't necessarily pacifist? Like, what happened if they could have got the airbenders to join the war? And, like, I think I mentioned something about, you know, using airbending negatively, like attacking people with it and stuff. But, wouldn't that be some gnarly shit if there was an evil airbender? So we get to, also speaking of Sokka's character, get to see, like, he's a man of science. He likes to see stuff to believe it. He never believed Appa could fly. Like, he doubted it. Even when they were on him, swimming through the ocean and whatnot, he was like, blah, 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 up, fly, ascend, yeehaw, like, blah, 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 and finally he said, yip, yip, and he, like, freaked out, and he was stoked and everything else, so... he didn't believe that he was able to fly until he actually saw it, which is good. I mean, we need someone like that in the team, a straight, level-headed thinker. It's always good to have that. Okay, so I did mention this during the show also. When Aang is running through the boat, he finds Iroh and he's sleeping. And I think they kind of play it off as a joke, you know, because he's like, sorry, and like backs out. But if you really think about it, like, let's go back to the whole evil airbender idea. Let's say Aang was, like, not as good as what he was. He caught Iroh slipping, essentially. I almost said sleeping. He was sleeping, but he caught him slipping. Like, if Aang was a different person, he could have, like, kidnapped or, like, taken Iroh hostage or something. So that shows some more stuff about Aang's character. Like, he's good at heart. He's good, essentially. He's like... what is it? Oh, I can't remember the D&D term. Like, there's like chaotic evil. I can't remember what the highest good one is. So as we see Aang busting out, like we realize that Aang has some moves. We go back to the village whenever he was just kind of holding Zuko off and fighting his fire, right? And then you look at it whenever they're in the ship. Aang's got some moves. Aang can turn up if he really wants to. He got some dance moves. Call it. You know, he's moving around like twinkle toes up in this bitch. Yeah, I feel like Aang probably could have took Zuko in the village. He just didn't. We talked about that earlier too. But like, it was confirmed in the ship. He bodied him, folded him up in a flag, and then smashed him with a mattress. Can't get much better than that. And let's talk about this crazy Super Saiyan Aang mode. So I'm just gonna call it what it is. It's not that big of a spoiler. It's called the Avatar state. Like, everybody calls it a Super Saiyan transformation the first time they see it, which I get it. Anytime someone really turns up and like transforms in a cartoon or an anime, everybody's like, oh fuck, he went Super Saiyan. No, the Avatar state. So the Avatar state is crazy powerful, right? It looks like it takes a lot out of him. He said he didn't remember, he just kind of did it, so it doesn't seem like he can control it, you know. Maybe he needs some more training or something, you know, get straight in his head or body or whatever, you know. It seems like he's got some crazy untapped power there, and we need to look a little bit more into that. And I don't want to tell y'all too much, but it's cool. We'll see where that goes. But, okay, so as Aang jumps out, Zuko catches him. He jumps off after him, just balls to the walls, like, I'm not letting you get away, bro. Once again, we look back to Zuko's determination. He's not going to let anything stand in the way of him getting his shit. Eventually, the gang comes to save him. Katara tries her best. In my notes here, I put Katara with her shit water bending. But, I mean, I know she's not a master yet, so don't give me any hate. I know there's a lot of Katara lovers out there. Katara's a shit. I'm just having fun. But yeah, so we need to get Katara some training or a master or something. We need to get her a little bit better at some water bending. But she can make ice, which that's a whole conversation in itself. I could probably make a whole video about like bending and bending subsets and like temperature changes and all this different stuff. But that would be chocked with a lot of spoilers. Yeah, she can make ice. She can turn the water into ice, which is something that's pretty cool. But we'll talk more about bending attributes later. If Iroh would have helped, they probably would have been able to keep Aang. Just a few more things. We did get another, like, after they fly off on Appa, Iroh says, "Oh cool, the Avatar's just a kid." Zuko says, "Uncle, this kid just did this." So once again, we get a child reference for Aang, which is kind of weird to me, but I mean, he's just a 12-year-old kid, but like, look at what he's doing. He's doing some crazy shit. And last but not least, right at the end, we get a little bit more lore. We get Aang talking about how he never wanted to be the Avatar. So apparently, we don't really know a lot about that yet, but it seems like it was forced on him. Well, he gets done explaining his feelings. He tells him, "I never wanted to be the Avatar, this and that." You know, Katara, being the motherly figure that she is, she comforts him, tells him everything's going to be okay, that they're his new family. Then everybody group hugs on Appa. And then we get one more, like, reference that Aang still is kind of a kid at heart, because he starts talking about going here to do all these crazy things and jumping all over the world instead of just heading straight for the North Pole, which is kind of where some of the adventures from from season 1 actually come in. You know, we go to uh just to name a few, Kyoshi, go to a couple different air temples. So at the season 1 is kind of, a lot of people say it's slow, it's not good, it's just episodic. It builds the world, it builds the story. It wouldn't be the same without it. You got to watch the beginning to get the middle and the end. Now, I will be the first person to say, when we get to book 2, you guys are going to see me spaz out, because I absolutely love book 2 more than anything else. I think it even tops book 3 for me. But anyways, other than that, I think that's about all I got to say about that, guys. We're rolling up. Let me see how long. Oh, I just hit over an hour. Wow, this was a long one. I talked a lot in this video. So, with that being said, Big Tex is probably going to go get some sleep. Y'all have a good one. Keep a clean tank. And as always, put 'em up.